Hello and welcome to Digit. In this video, we are going to be unboxing the ASRock A320M HDV motherboard. Now, this is the fourth revision of this particular motherboard, so it has undergone some design changes in the past to arrive at this particular design, and we can see that this one is compatible with AMD Ryzen processors, and in particular it is compatible with the Ryzen 3000 series processors as well as the Athlon 2000 or 200 GE series. So you have several models, so these X's can be replaced with all the different numbers that are available, which means you can now support 2000 series, 3000 series, as well as some of the lower powered Athlon processors. And the A320 chipset gives you a good indication of what all features this particular motherboard might have. On the front side, you have the contact information for the importer as well as the serial number. This is important when you're trying to get warranty claims done. You have the name of the motherboard again over here. Same on this side and same on this side. So we'll head straight to the back side of the packaging. Over here we can see most of the key features being highlighted. We'll start off with the NVMe slots. So ASRock calls these Ultra M.2 slots because they provide 32 gigabits per second. This is over the previous generation of PCIe, which only provided 16 gigabits per second of transfer speed. As for the video outputs on this particular motherboard, it supports 4K by 2K, that is 3840 by 2160 pixels. The industry standard just calls it 4K. Then there's some mention about super alloy PCB as well as some of the components being used. On the right hand side, they state that this thing supports 3 simultaneous displays. You've got USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports and plenty of those. We'll see more once we unbox the motherboard. And there's a little note about the kind of solid state capacitors they've used. It also features a bit of spike protection, so it's good for folks who have slight voltage fluctuation issues. Over here we can see what the rear I/O looks like, some of the ports, or rather all of the ports on the back side, and the specifications, some of which we already went through on the front ad side. Something that is important that you'd want to look at is that this thing supports 2 memory DIMM sticks up to DDR3200, that is under overclock conditions, and you can put a full-sized graphics card because it has a 16x PCIe slot. It supports RAID 0, 1, and 10, and lastly, it's the micro ATX form factor. So this is square, small, it'll fit almost every chassis that you can find in the market. That's it for the packaging. We'll just open up and see what all we get on the inside. First, we have a pair of SATA cables. This is for your 2.5 as well as 3.5 inch hard drives and SSDs. We can see one of them has a L-shaped connector. Then there's the driver disk. This will have all the device drivers for this particular motherboard and spread across multiple operating systems as well. Then there's a little screw. This is for securing the M.2 NVMe SSD onto the motherboard. Then there's the rear I/O plate. This is what goes at the back side of your chassis before you install the motherboard into your chassis. Then there's the user manual. Always read through the user manual to understand exactly how your motherboard functions and what all features you can take advantage of. And lastly, here's the motherboard. This is the CPU socket in the center. You've got 2 slots for RAM, one full-size X16 PCIe slot for putting a graphics card in, all the requisite power connectors. You have 4 SATA ports for connecting 2.5 and 3.5 inch hard drives, one USB 3.0 or 3.1 header that will support 2 ports, and the backside allows us to look at all the different ports that are available. So you have 5.1 channel audio via 3.5mm jacks, you have a gigabit Ethernet port, 4 3.1 USB 3.1 ports, an HDMI port, VGA, DVI, 2 USB 2.0, and legacy PS2 ports. There's nothing on the underside. And that's about it for this unboxing and overview of the ASRock A320M HDV motherboard. Thank you for watching.